Alright mga kapatid. So, welcome once again to another game of StarCraft. So, currently, konting disclaimer lang, I'm actually semi-eating right now while casting. Pero sayang ito opportunity to actually share this game with the rest of Filipino StarCraft players. So, we have right now, currently, on the lower left side of the map, we have one of the best Protosses in the Philippines. He's based on assessments from majority of the players who know him. He's sitting at around rank B Protoss. So we have no other than atituskinggg. And on the upper left side of the map, we have one of the best Zerg players in the Philippines. And actually one of the best players in the Philippines, one of the OGs, more than 25 years in StarCraft. We have Banga PH. So both of them are actually playing their main race against main race now. Okay, while we're at it, I would like to give some more details, but right now, what's happening here is that Atitus is blocking the natural base of Banga from going up, and yeah, Banga was able to push back that probe as it was trying to delay this second base of Banga. Now, this probe is in here, trying to scout to make sure he could prepare for any mass links or if Banga would decide to roll up. Meanwhile, on the other side, on Atitus' side, nothing out of the ordinary, just the regular standard Protoss, rather Forge Nexus opener. And yeah, and of course, Banga scouting in the right direction sees the tech Atitus has currently. So Banga knows that this is a Forge opener. He should be safe from any incoming zealots, at least in the early game. And this probe from Atitus is doing its very best, trying to survive from being chased down by this pair of Zerglings. Oops, and gets hit. Okay, now Banga with the third base at around 3 minutes 10 seconds. Okay, looking so it's on time, I believe. I'm not a Zerg player, so I don't really know the timings that much. But I do know that it's around this time when they usually have this third base against Protoss. Right, so here's the probe trying to be annoying, but Atitus lost control and is about to lose that probe, but he managed to still sneak away from those two Zerglings chasing that probe. Alright. So yun basta guys, no? So again, so habang wala pa naman masyadong ganap, no? And we're only seeing some workers, the probe being chased, no? Konting description pa. So actually, these players are often active in the US West server. No, kasi those most of the viewers currently nandito sa stream are playing on Asia server and are mostly playing casual and team games. So that's great and all, and it definitely iba rin ang meta sa team games, and definitely iba rin yung gameplay in 1 versus 1 because unlike team games, all the responsibility ay nasa iyo. If you lose the game, wala kang masisisi kundi sarili mo, and of course, your opponent doing a really, really good job. So now Atitus sees those Zerglings incoming and now is preparing for a block because he only has one cannon, trying to add that second cannon, hopefully come in time. But now Banga is trying to. Well, he could have gone in, but of course that Overlord sees the timing of that second photon cannon, and even if there's only one cannon, it would still reduce his Zergling count by a lot. So now, these two zealots just sneaking like a ninja towards Banga's base, and Banga just seeing the zealots just now. Oh, and actually look at the lair. Lair placement is in the natural instead of the main. So, considering now Banga sees the zealots blocking with the drones. Now using that probe, rather drone drill to screw up the AI of the zealots, and now Zerglings will try to take down these two zealots as they try to be annoying behind the mineral line of our Zerg player. Now it's kind of lagging right now for some reason. I hope this lag doesn't continue. Okay, okay, now it's back to normal now. Okay. That gets taken down, and yeah, this cell is gonna get taken down as well. So excellent job by Banga for being able to hold that. And the lag is back. So why is it lagging? I don't know. Yeah, shout out to Hexa. Hexa eating while watching and supporting the stream. So Hexa is one of the viewers currently. Chobo, I think you're lagged. Chobo, Chobo, you there? Stream ka na lang muna. Ayan. Okay, now the lag is reduced. Sorry, Chobo, that you had to leave. But yeah, now we have the Spire going up for Banga. So that's the reason why he was trying to block Atitus from going up the ramp, because he was actually going for Spire instead of the Hydra Den. But of course, like Atitus should be able to scout it very soon as the Corsair arrives at Banga's base and almost got taken down by the Scourge. So look at those timings on those Scourge and Corsairs. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. This is higher than normal StarCraft. At least we see here in the Philippines. You know, it is a casual match, but it's still very refreshing, very fun to watch, to see high level players doing their very best, playing the most optimal builds they can against each other. So while nothing's happening, just a brief description about Atitus. So Atitus, as far as you know, based on my knowledge playing against him as Protoss, and I'm a Terran main, he often play TVP. At least for the TVP, he often goes for the more macro, standard, safer approach. Okay, so he wins with just by being good at the fundamentals and playing it safe. So that's kind of his playstyle and his greatest strength. While Banga, having several years of experience, has a lot to bring to the table, a lot of strategies, a lot of weird and unusual strategies that he could just pull out from his card of tricks, from his bag of tricks, rather, simply because of his years of experience, and he knows exactly what to do in situations. Now, Scourges try to take down the Corsairs, but only one Corsair gets deleted, and the rest of the Scourges get taken out. Okay, now Atitus going for the attack at Banga. Natural, Banga doesn't have any units other than Mutalisks and drones defending. Now, Banga will try to make good use of the only army he has, which are Mutalisks, while drilling with these drones to stop any zealots from going up the ramp. But this is already big damage to Banga's economy. This is not looking good for Banga right now, but he still has his third base mining. He now tries to go for a counter with those Zerglings. Maybe he wants to try to sneak in, or maybe go for the third if there's any third. But yeah, at least Banga gets to hold, and you know that's a lot of damage. But he's not dead. He definitely not dead. Okay, now we have High Tempers are out finally, and are now banking up some energy to deal with those Mutalisks, Storms, or even any potential Hydras coming soon. But yeah, it's always good to store that energy, whether your opponent decides to go Muta or Hydra, or whatever. Okay, now he decided to morph them into higher Archons, maybe because of the Mutalisks. So I thought he was gonna save up some energy, but he decided to morph them into high Archons to deal with the Mutalisks. Yeah. Yeah, 6 viewers right now. Thank you for joining us on stream. You guys are amazing. Thank you for supporting the Filipino StarCraft community, and as well as, StarCraft in general. Now, Atitus spots that drone about to make an expansion perhaps in his mineral-only base, but Atitus denies that perfectly. Okay, now we're seeing Mutalisk trying to intercept any reinforcements from here, but those high Archons are just dealing massive damage to this Mutalisks. Tata, look. Who's ahead right now? Is it Banga? I think Banga is ahead just because of the supply count. But I'm not really sure. But normally, as non-Zerg, as a non-Zerg in the race versus Zerg game, you normally want to be higher in population against Zerg. Otherwise, if Zerg gets ahead, that's usually not a good sign. Okay. Now, Atitus' army of Zealots and High Archons just trying to deal whatever damage they can while roaming across the map, trying to intercept any roaming Zerglings or anything that could be out there that could be approaching their base. So this kind of serves as a small force slash scouting force to deny any fourth base. Sorry, did I mention third a while ago? I was saying fourth. I meant fourth from coming up. Okay, now you might be wondering why in the world is Atitus destroying his own gates. It's simple. Because this gate has already served its purpose in the early game, and now Atitus needs to make space for Dragoons to come out and go fight the Zerg army out there on the map. Okay, now Atitus leading with observers and this very scary Protoss force. He's going to try to control the map, or maybe perhaps expand first the third before going for an assault. And now we're seeing Atitus' army going towards the direction of Banga's base. Right, quick tech check habang wala. Okay. Yeah, nothing so weird so far. Okay, now it goes engage. It just appears that Atitus just has a lot of Dragoons and Zealots. But Banga does still have some lurkers lying around. So can Banga actually hold this push? Will Atitus actually go for the kill? Can he possibly go for the kill, or maybe go for the third? Okay, the observer kinda late to the party, but Atitus manages to break past these lurkers, and now is trying to damage the natural. But Banga is reinforcing with more lurkers, trying to hold the line while Atitus is macroing back at home. Macroing, building up Dragoon count. And now, Atitus trying to set up a contain at the natural. Those storms landing on all three lurkers. That was a great storm. Now, second storm gets casted and deletes all three lurkers from Banga's base. Now, this High Templar kinda a bit forward, kinda suicidal there, but at least it already did its job. But he just lost some Dragoons very unnecessarily in that moment, trying to push. Maybe it was a missed micro there, but Banga still holds. Okay, so it seems that Banga was able to deny this third base from Atitus coming up. And yeah, at 14-minute mark, Atitus needs to actually get his third up and running soon, because his main is about to run dry, and the natural as well. Okay, while Banga is still comfortably macroing on 3 base as Zerg. Okay, now Atitus trying to get hold of the third base on the mineral only base, the third natural base, closest to his main end, the natural of course. So he's gonna try to establish a base over here now leaving his army just to really defend and get it set up and running before he even decides to attack or go out on the map. Meanwhile, on Banga's side, still not okay. I just realized he's on Hive Tech. He's on Hive right now. And what's Banga's plan? Probably Cracklings. Let's see the upgrades on Banga's units. We have +1 Carapace. Do we have +1 melee? Yes, we have +1 melee. So it looks like Banga is looking to do the Cracklings build. Cracklings is the attack speed upgrade and movement speed upgrade both on Zerglings, and of course try to upgrade melee attack and Carapace so that he can finish the enemy off with Zerglings. And speaking of Cracklings, look, exactly that's exactly what Banga is doing, mashing up Zerglings currently while waiting for those upgrades to kick in. Now Banga setting up 4th base while having some tripwires on the other possible expansions that the Protoss might take. Okay, 2 base expand from Banga. One is mirror only base and another at the 2 o'clock position. Now Atitus will try to go for another engage, trying to go up the ramp. But it's not going to be easy as lurkers are going to meet them when they decide to go up. Now Atitus decides to back down. Maybe the observer is spotted. There's a lurker there. Now Atitus going back to this 3rd base, trying to defend against this wave of Zerglings to try to take down the base, but fortunately there were some storms and cannons available at that location, allowing his 3rd base to still allowing him to still maintain his 3rd base. And now more Zerglings are flooding in, as I think the Zergling attack speed has already been upgraded. And still +1/+1 for the Zerg, while for Protoss has +2 armor and +1 attack. Finally, 4th base and Banga are now up. He just needs to saturate them with drones. But Atitus is still on 3 base, trying to hold on 3 base. Now, Atitus main is running dry. Natural about to run dry. Atitus needs to attack or secure another base. Try to end this game or secure another base before it's too late. Yeah, but look at that supply of Atitus. That's that's 10878 supply. This is actually a really scary Protoss army. And I don't know what's gonna happen exactly, but this is very scary. Now, Atitus is finally going for the base, the mirror only base of Banga. Trying to push up. Storms are landing on those lurkers. Dragoons trying to target fire those lurkers as storms are trying to back them up. But now, the Zerglings are going to try to push back this army, and it looks like Banga is actually doing an amazing job of deleting majority of Atitus forces with just lurkers and Zerglings. That's crazy. And of course, Dragoons deal less damage to Zerglings as they are small units, while Dragoons have explosive damage. Okay, still a few of Dragoons get preserved. And now, Banga now needs to reinforce this mineral only base. But yeah, Atitus is drying out. He needs to expand very soon. But Banga is just on top of things. Banga is just so ready to intercept any expansion coming from Atitus. Now, Zealots are finally being made as he saw lots of lurkers being taken down. Oh, and I didn't notice there's finally an Ultralisk now at 2/2 upgrades, melee and Carapace. But these are a lot of Zealots and not too many lurkers on the battlefield. This is not looking good for Banga. Lurkers, as we know, deal more damage to small units such as Zealots and deal less damage to Dragoons. But now, let's see if Banga can actually hold this with Ultralisks and Zerglings. Okay, the Ultralinks are just too beefy. Atitus is losing a lot of supply and still no fourth base as of this moment. He has over 1,000 minerals saved to hopefully plant a Nexus. But this burrowed Zergling is so annoying that Atitus needs to get an observer or a cannon up just to kill this burrowed Zergling, stopping Atitus from putting up that fourth base. Natural, mined out. Main base, mined out. But Atitus only has one mining base. And look at his resources. It's really running dry. This is not looking good for our Protoss player. While Zerg is still happily mining on 4 bases. Okay, ano kayang gagawin ni Atitus? What is Atitus going to do in this situation? Alright, now Zerglings. Lots of Zerglings going to the lower side of the map. Okay. What? That was a very awkward position of Nexus. I didn't know. Oops! Did Atitus cancel? Didn't notice. I think he didn't get the cancel on that. Did he? Because he was over 1,000 minerals earlier. And that Nexus is around 400. Uh-oh. Now, Atitus trying to desperately put up his fourth base ASAP. That's why his forces are just roaming near the expansions and not even going for attack. Because if he goes for an attack on a base, the Zerg might just go for a counter in one of his expansions and it could be game over just like that. But Atitus decides to try to attack right now. Maybe he could get something done before it gets out of control. Atitus trying to kill. Going to kill mga sport base here. But supply wise, look at the supply right now. They are equal in supply, and that is usually not good news for the non-Zerg player. But there are too many Ultralicks. Uh-oh. These Dragoons do extra damage to Ultralicks, but they're just so beefy. And with Zerglings to the mix, this is not looking good for a Protoss player. I think just looking at this position right here and the unit count, this is already GG. So DTs are added. Now DTs can potentially hold off the Ultralicks if Banga does not bring an Overlord to combat. But there's some Overlords sitting nearby. And yeah, is Banga actually aware that there are DTs? Yes, now Banga now finally utilizing that one Overlord there to take down this base. Yes, this is GG. When Atitus loses this base, I don't think we could recover anytime soon. These are lots of Ultralisks already at 4-2 upgrades. Zergling 2-2 upgrades. Yeah, this is looking like a GG for Atitus already. But of course, Atitus will try to fight this. He still has one base mining and maybe he could get something done. Maybe. I don't know. But it doesn't look good. Definitely. And wow, Atitus' army actually shreds the few Ultralisks that were sitting here. And now, Atitus trying to go for another attack at the fourth with only a few Zerglings. And okay, never mind. More Ultralisks are sent to the party. And there are Overlords to help spot those Dark Templars. So Atitus has only this very small army right there. No other army units other than two Archons and a Zealot over here. This is only Atitus' standing army right now. And friends, this could be over. Yeah, and Banga only just gonna intercept again the fourth base of Atitus. Now Atitus is stuck on just three bases once again. And look at that, those minerals, those numbers are just moving up so slowly. This game is going to end very very soon. And Banga, of course, takes more bases. Alright, so those few Zerglings got shredded by Atitus' army. Maybe Atitus can get something done over here. And wow, Atitus manages to kill mga standing army over there, but lots of reinforcements are still coming in. Lots of ultralists. And this is Atitus' last army. This is over, mga kapatid. Zealots and ultralists and high archons. But mga will just flood this area over here non-stop. Yeah, and it's a GG. GG has been called. What a good game. So that is 1-0 in favor of mga PH. Rather, yeah, correct. In favor of mga PH. Yeah, what an amazing game.